Good afternoon, my lovelies. How are we? I see we're in the Lego chat situation already, which suits me just fine. Thea's getting on well with her poinsettia, and Jan's got plans. Jan's got plans, but Jan isn't here. Just so you know, she's not here. She's not here at all. How is Gem? Gem's not in good shape. It is extremely cold, and yeah, that's not going well for me today. I feel every inch of my 40 years today, which leads me to my first point. I'm gonna have to abandon the pencil aspect of this stream. My hand's just so stiff, and pencil work is that's not good chat. So we're going to be painting today. I'm sure most of you understand and you don't mind, but it's, yeah, my hand's really stiff. I've got my squeezy ball on the go. When I went out this morning to do a little run to the post office with some stash shop orders, it was -5, and when I went out for a run shortly after, once it had gotten a bit lighter, it was -4, and honestly I don't think we've gotten much higher than that today, and I can feel it. Daria says if still favours jigsaw puzzles to Lego. That's okay, Daria. Painting's great too. You'll have a good play in the paint. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. I just can't today. I had a wee go just with a graphite pencil earlier on, and I was like 5 minutes in and my hand was going, oh no. So we're going to have to just leave that for another day, but we'll get back to that. In terms of Lego, you can see over my shoulder there, here we go again with the pointing thing, can't do spiders. That little thing there, that is one of the Animal Crossing Lego sets which I've been building. You can see the rest of them on that side over there. I've been working my way through them. Some of them are like pre-orders and I had a couple, so I just kept them all. So that, for those of you that have played Animal Crossing on the Nintendo Switch, you'll know I'm a huge fan of Animal Crossing. That is the Able Sisters. That's the little clothes shop that I'm building there, and it's super cute. Like, it really is. I'm right into that. I have seen loads of Lego sets. You all were talking there about the flowers. I actually got an email this morning about the flower sets that have been released, and they're absolutely gorgeous. Not something that I would want to build, but I think for people that are maybe not quite as hardcore Lego as I am, that like they're lovely, and obviously they're lovely display pieces as well. And if you're rubbish with real flowers like me, they're actually not a bad idea. You want to know whose body is in the huge box? Oh, right, okay. Hi, Patty. Good morning to you. Yeah, I've actually, just before I started, I got this delivery, which is the huge box. It's my Sea White wholesale order, but I haven't had time to put it away, but there's something or two that I wanted to show you, which is why I've just left it there. I will move it out of the way because it's unsightly. But let me just maybe dig in here. And, ooh, it's so exciting. So exciting. Right, okay, so the two things I have to show you. I just got in and it's bloody cold. I was just saying that, Patty, it's really, really cold here. Like, I can't pencil today because my hand's not up for it. The first thing I've got is, oh, hi Mary. Happy New Year and all that, yes, it's good. The first thing I've got is this. And we've talked a lot in the videos and in the streams about the Sea White watercolour paper that's in the watercolour journals that I sell, and everyone really, really likes it. So I've decided to start stocking the loose sheets. So in the stash shop, and hopefully this will be permanent if it sells well enough, we have the A5 watercolour pads. So these are loose sheets, obviously, just tear them off, they're gummed along the top here. And this is the same paper that's in these watercolour journals. It's the 300 GS, well this is 350 GSM, so it's thicker paper. And I have, in the past, I've done custom orders for people and bought the big sheets, and you've got to buy them in bulk. But I've got them in the little A5 pads. If this goes well, I'll start stocking them in other sizes as well. But this watercolour paper is fantastic. It is sized as well, so it's you know, you're good for buckling and whatever. And obviously it will be at a reasonable price. I haven't actually put these on the shop yet. As I say, they've just arrived, but they will be competitively priced, as you are all aware, because that's what we do here in the Colour Cave. So that's quite exciting. I always like it when I start stocking new products, especially products that I like, which is generally what I try to do, obviously. So I've also got as well, now that this is a bit more of an experiment, this is a new thing from Sea White. They have brought out their own range of water mixable oil paints. Now in the cave we have tried water mixable oils before. It was a long, long time ago, and I think it might have been Talon's ones. I'm sure you'll correct me if I'm wrong. But this is Sea White's own brand, and they're brand new out, they're just on the market. So I thought we could maybe do a video on these and see how we go. Most of you will know my oil painting is limited to wet and wet, like Bob Ross style, and it's something that I don't do very often because oil paint is a pain in the behind because you've got solvents and all the rest of it. You don't have the same cleanup and everything with these as you do with traditional oil paints, and they also dry quicker as well. So I thought a video with this set would be good. They do sell them individually, but this is a set of 10. So I thought we could maybe give that a wee bash, and we can take it from there. I don't think this is something that I would stock permanently in the stash shop. I just, like, obviously I know my market, and I know that those of you that watch videos, most of you aren't oil painters, but if it was something that was of interest, I would take a pre-order and I could get a few sets for people if that's what they wanted. But we have to test them out first and make sure they're not crap. So that is what came in amongst all the usual stocky things. All the paintbrushes and the sketchbooks will be back in stock just shortly. I just have to find 5 minutes to get get them back on the website. They look nicely packaged. Well, they do. They're fairly nice. A little bit of Van Gogh there. Oh, which reminds me. We named the other squirrel Vinny. I have a strong suspicion, just from watching the activity over the last few weeks, that Vinny might be Mrs. Chubbs. I was watching the two of them the other day. Mr. Chubbs was in the garden bouncing about on the grass because they bury, you know, like they like to stash away their nuts and things. That sounded so wrong on so many levels. But Mr. Chubbs and Vinny are being kind of like pallying about together, and they when one has arrived, the other one has also arrived, and like they're always in like quite close proximity to each other. So I can't verify that Vinny is a lady squirrel, but I just find it interesting that the two of them are quite close by. So I will keep you updated on that. Obviously, we'll still call her Vinny if she is Mrs. Chubbs, but I kind of like Mrs. Chubbs too. Who have we got? The chat's busy today. Goodness me. Let me just scroll back a wee bit and catch up. I could probably move my mouse over actually. Oh, right, hang on. Oh, right. Yeah, that's a bit better. I'm not stretching as much. Oh, Connie loves pencils. Hi, Connie. So that makes you a pencil monster. I've mentioned this before. See, on the Cave business cards, I have actually got my job role down as Chief Pencil Monster. So I think you could join that band of monsterness, Connie. Hey Artsy, how you doing? Nice to see you. Oh, Thea's excited. Okay, we're excited by the water mixable oils. And you're like, oil mixable waters? No, that doesn't sound right. Jan's just remembered the postie brought me a parcel, some notebooks, because I only have thousands and some little metal page markers I use a lot. Mr. Jem came in yesterday for the farm. He's in charge of everything, which includes like a bulk stationery order every now and then. And he came in the other night with a notepad, and he was sitting at the table using this notepad, and it was obviously very new and shiny, and he must have noticed me like eyeballing it, and he said to me, he says, I've got like 6 of them, do you want one? And I was like, yes please, can I have one? So good. Hello Tracy Hogan, how are you? Hi Yana, how are you doing? Coming from a snowed in, iced in home in the creek. Yeah, I was just saying it's pretty cold here. I think we're like -3, maybe -2-ish. And I'm pretty cold, honestly. A squirrel love story. Well, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't actually know. Has Vinny got nuts too? Well, this is I can't verify that, Jan. The problem with Vinny is a lot more sort of skittish, and any movement in the cave, he or she is still kind of like darting away. But since I've been back to work at my proper job, so when I'm working my proper job, I face this way, and this space here, that's where my work laptop sits, and it's so that I can look out the window, and if Mr. Jem comes in, I can talk to him, and he sits at the packing station. He sits over there and we have a wee chit chat. So since I have been back to work properly this week, if I've been sitting here, and obviously when I'm working I'm not making any sort of big movements, Vinny has kind of like started and moved away but not jumped down off the sill. So there may be time yet to find out whether Vinny is in fact male or female, but I shall keep you updated with that. They have to be happy, that's all. Well, the last time that they were interacting, there was obviously a domestic going on, so I'm not so sure about that, Thea. Oh, goodness me, that's quite funny though. Ulrika's in as well. Hello Ulrika, how are you? Oh. Have you not got binoculars, Jem, just for the checking of the nuts? Oh wow. That orange jumper. Well, do you know, right, funny you should say that, Danny. I've worn this deliberately today because it's going in the donation pile. It's far too big now. Like, you can see it's not, like, it doesn't sit well on me now, and if I stand up, I don't know if you'll be able to see, it just like hangs at the front. Like, my tummy's in there now. So it's time to go. It's not very flattering, and the fact that I have the same jumper in a smaller size but just in a different colour, like, it's time for the orange jumper to go. So I've decided that these streams are going to be like the last hurrah for the clothes that I've become emotionally attached to. I have this thing where if I get something that I like to wear and it's comfortable, I kind of like wear the hell out of it, and I become sort of like attached in a weird way, and this is one of these ones. It has to go. Even Mr. Jem said to me, he's like, well, like that's not it, Jem. So yeah, this is going to be the last wear. The other jumper that I'm going to do that with as well, which you'll all have seen me wear, is the Grace. It's like a kind of finer knit sweater with black stars on it. I put that on the other day for the first time in ages, and it's the same. It's just like hanging. And it's so baggy that it was getting caught on like the door handles and like the drawer handles in the kitchen and stuff. So I'm going to wear that once more, and then that's going into the donation pile as well. I kind of want to get this one in orange again though, because I really, really like this. And considering orange isn't really a colour that I like, I find that quite weird, but in a cool way. Patty's watching her squirrels eating outside. How they can do that in -18? Yeah, I'd pass. I don't know. Trust me, Jan, you can tell if they're boy girl when they sit on their haunches. Picturing Jem sitting at her window with binoculars to check squirrel anatomy. Do you know in some countries that's probably a criminal offence? Ulrika's just warming up with a cuppa after putting out extra food for the birdies, the cats and the squirrels. Yeah, the back to nuts. The consumption of nuts has intensified quite severely over the last few days. I'm exactly the same. Been putting out a lot of stuff. Hey Marilise, how are you? Nice to see you. Colour looks good. Well, thanks, Danny. Well, this is the company that I buy these from is Joe Brown's. And this tends to be in like their winter range, so I think we're kind of past that stage now, but they do tend to bring them out every year just in different colours, so I may well do that. The other one I've got in the smaller size is a teal colour and it's lovely. I really like it. Patty says all my clothes are baggy. Well, I quite like loose fitting clothes, especially because I'm in the house all day. And it is just more comfortable, but there comes a point, see when you're getting caught on handles, it's time to... Thankfully had an order of nuts and soup pellets this morning, so plenty to go around. Good stuff. That you've got to keep the stock levels up, Ulrika. Right, let's jump to top down, or do you want my face as well? I want to show you what I've done since the last stream. I'll just zoom in a wee bit here. I'm really concentrating on this bottom left hand corner. So I have invented the blue pom-pom plant, which is what you can see here. I want to start getting some interest into this little spot. I've darkened down this area here, and this is with indigo, and that is it's the Winsor & Newton gouache that I've used for that. I just wanted some really dark areas, so you can see this looks more like a pillar, I suppose, and I've added in a slightly darker colour for our blue moon moss or space moss or whatever we're calling it, and that's just a mixture of the Kingfisher blue, which was the artful colour we were using if you remember. Let me just grab that, so this one here, and that indigo colour which I'd squished out a little bit of. So that's basically all that I've done. I decided that this is going to be some sort of path, and because this is coming up round, I think maybe we should have like a ladder here. Maybe it's turning into like a hobbit hole in another planet. I'm not sure. But today I would like to work on this path area, work a little bit more on our blue space moss. And I feel like this part here, I feel like this is a body of water. See just the shape of that's come out. So I think I'm going to make that into a little river, and we might even bring that all the way down along here, and this path can come up and round, and we might have a little ladder going here, and then a ladder that's like face on up to the upper level of the hobbit hole. Loose clothes is a fine art. There's nice looking baggy, and yeah, I am definitely in the unattractive baggy position now. Which is, well, it's the worst problems to have, honestly. I've got, I'm on black tea, but I had to put some it's like stevia that I use. I don't take sugar, but the problem is that it tends to sit on the top. See, if you don't put it in first and then put the tea in, it just sits like a glacier. So I've got like this weird foamy layer. It kind of looks like coffee. But what happens is once you've like all that off, you're just left with really bitter tasting tea. But never mind. It's fine, we'll live. Right, I think my hand's ready-ish to go, so let's make a wee effort here. Is that the butterfly clip? I see a Victorian hand clips. Was that the ones that I had in the last stream, Patty? Yeah, I've got these are really cute. I've got a couple of them. They're really nice. But yeah, my page was just popping up a little bit, so I thought I would pin that down. Galactic Hobbits. Ah. Got a bit of honey in your tea. Do you know what? I really like honey, I just don't like it in my tea. In my case, the hems of my older fleeces are loose, making it obvious I have lost a few inches. That's only a clap if that's what you want though, Jan. I should have thought about that before I said it. I have to remember that not everyone loses weight voluntarily. Right, okay. So what I would like to do is roll my sleeves up a wee bit. And, right, okay. So I think what we'll do is we'll maybe work on this moss. It's not... there's not enough depth in it yet for my liking. I need more depth. So what I would like to do is stipple in a little bit more of this darker colour, which really I should have done first, but when you're in the position where you don't really know where a painting's going, you can't always plan ahead. So I'm going to stipple in a lot more of this darker colour, and we'll build that up over the course of the next hour with lighter colours, and then like maybe a wee bit of white, bearing in mind that our light source is mostly coming from this little part here. It's like, yeah. And we'll make this into some water and we'll work on this path, and then we'll maybe get our ladders in. So I just want to zoom out a wee bitty because I would quite like you to be able to see what's going on the old mixing plate here. This is like rock solid. I have to squeeze out some more. Other than that, I've just got my usual accoutrements. You guys know the types of things I like to use when I'm painting. I've got clean water, I've got not so clean water, and I've got my paint puck. Hi, Mrs. Patty. Here comes Mum. Theo hopes her clothes will be a little bit baggier too soon. Well, if you want to join the bandwagon, please feel free. I'm really struggling this week, see, to get back to normal after like the Christmas period. Now, to be fair, I did not put on a lot of weight over Christmas compared to what I would normally put on over the festive period, but to get back into a routine, it's been a struggle. Yesterday and the day before, all I've done is eat like I couldn't stop eating. It's like, oh god. So yeah, that I'm trying my hardest, honestly, but yeah, it's not going as well as I thought it would. But we will get there. I would like to my sort of goal now is to get back to my wedding weight, which is roughly the weight I was when we started the cave, and that is about 15 pounds away. So a little bit to go, but we've got one of our close friends is getting married in May, so I would like to be my wedding weight for their wedding, and I would be quite happy with that because I'm aware that my weight loss is quite slow, but I'm okay with that. So we just have to keep going. And I was telling myself that this morning when I went out for my run. I realised this morning that I think the coldness level, and I talked in the last stream about running better in the cold, I think today's temperatures is probably me at my limit for now. It was quite uncomfortable running this morning. It was extremely cold. And I could feel it in my knee and my hip as well. I've got a bit of a tweaky hamstring on the right side. I was saying in the Discord this morning, like, holy hamstrings. My right bum cheek went numb for a little while this morning. So yeah, that was fun. But yeah, so we just have to keep going. But when I was out running this morning, I was pretty cold, and I was like, you just need to turn up. You don't need to perform miracles. The fact that you've turned up and you're doing it, that's all you need to do. But anyway, I ended up running my fastest 5k time so far. I think it was probably partially motivated by the fact I was desperate to get home because I was freezing. Jan just wants to get out walking without risking a spectacular slip. Oh, Right, let's get this on the go. I might just take off this brush actually. Kind of using this as like a mixing brush. I look like I've put my pants in a slippery outside. Oh, you should have seen me running this morning, it was hilarious. I had to, like, do you know that sort of like exaggerated, like stage tiptoe? You know, if a character's trying to sneak in and they're kind of going like this. That was me, except running this morning, like trying to dodge all the slippy patches. Connie's in summer just now. See, to be honest, Connie, I would be absolutely useless if it was summer. I was saying in the last stream as well, like, I don't run well in heat. Actually suits me better. And say the fact that I ran my fastest time this morning, it was absolutely bloody Baltic. Tells you all you need to know. I'm not getting the stippling, like my brush isn't dry enough. There we go, that's a little bit better. Okay. So I should really start over here. I don't know, I'm hanging on to this for grim death. Like, put that down, Jen. There we go. Yeah, I just want to build up a bit of a kind of better base here in order to get the contrast that I want with the lightest colour. Obviously you need darker colours. I bang on about this all the time. But yeah, just pop some more of that down. I'm not really sure what's going on here yet. I haven't really got that far, it's fine. I'm going to put this on manual. Excuse me stretching up here, guys. I don't want the autofocus having a fit. So yeah, just build this up a bit. One of the things with gouache, you know, obviously you want to work in layers. And one of the things that makes a really good painting is having depth in those layers. So you can see down here, like, this just looks really sparse. It doesn't look that good. So even if you have to go over your lighter colours, which is exactly what I'm having to do, you know, you're not really limited by that. You're using a very, very dry brush, so you're not compromising your paper at all. But it's important to do that so that you've got nice rich areas. Hot African summer. Daria's exercising indoors. I've had to do that. I missed 2 runs last week for that reason, Daria. It was just like the snow was coming like this way. But it was quite sort of wet as well, which makes for really slippery underfoot. And I ended up doing like a couple of boxing sessions with my VR headset, which weirdly I quite enjoy from time to time. So yeah, I get you on that one. What do you do for indoor exercise, Daria? Icy paths, yeah, no. Danny likes the colour palette. Yeah, it's going quite well, isn't it? Right, okay, so let's talk about creating water. There's a really easy way to do this. And what you want is a flat brush. Sometimes an angled brush like this will do. I prefer like a traditional flat brush like this. This is one of the Himi gouache brushes that I got with the set of the Himi paints, you know, the little jelly pot ones. So, Mary can't leave the flat if it's raining or snowing because of crutches. Yes, you have to be extremely careful, my dear. Dodgy shoulders, yeah. And yeah, like dodgy shoulders and a walking stick. Ooh, that must put quite a bit of strain on your joints, Ulrika, does it? Daddy uses the treadmill only in those dire situations. The Hami brushes are surprisingly good. Yeah, they're all right actually. I wouldn't say that they're great, but considering I didn't pay anything for them. Okay, so for water, the old white gouache. I do actually. That's probably really dry. Yeah, that's. Squidge out a little bit of that. Car wouldn't start this morning. It's so cold the battery is dead. Oh no. And Tracy's lost her walking stick. You sound like my gran, so that's Mama Jem's mum. And we used to refer to the BS and not in the traditional sense. It was the bloody stick. and she would say, "Where have I left my bloody stick?" Because she was forever leaving it at her backside. So I'm just squishing my paintbrush there, left to right or right to left. I do want a decent amount of paint on the edge of the brush though, but just right on the very tip, so you can see I'm going down the way there. And what we want to do is we want to create basically like the water line, so where the water is like bumping up against whatever surface it is. So we're going straight up and down, and we just want to back and forth, and we want to do that roughly around where the bank of the water is. You want it fairly dry, and you can bring it out in places if you want to sort of show that there's a little bit of movement in the water. And you can build this up depending on the intensity of the other colours, and obviously we're quite vibrant here, so we maybe want it to look a little bit more exciting than this. So you can sort of add more in, so you can see that standing out a little bit more, and I would recommend that you do that the closest part to where your land starts, if you like. But if you just sort of brush back and forth, maybe a little bit of a tail in there, and then we can do the same down here. Maybe just a little bit there. Now in this very tight part in here, I'm not going to use a flat brush just because that is an extremely tight space. I don't have a flat brush small enough for that, so I've got a little my little sea white number 1 here, and I'm just going to pick up a weeny bit. Make sure the brush isn't overloaded at all, and I just want to kind of like flick So by going up at the back there, we're showing that that's the back of the body of the water. You know, the water doesn't disappear in behind that sort of pillar area. And you don't have to be particularly tidy about this, because you can smooth it out with a little bit of water if that's what you want, but also you can tidy that up by using whatever purple colour or blue colour that you've been using. I have this was the Arteza violet colour, so we can tidy that up. It's not really a big thing. I mean, nothing's a big thing when we're painting here, but you know what I mean. Yes. Oh, there we go. That's also given me a little bit of contrast next to my moss here as well. Yeah, that's a bit tidier. I just wanted to tidy that up a wee bit. So if you want to depict like a flow of water, again, I would stick with a flat brush for this. This is kind of in the way. Look, what am I going to do with you? I need something to... Right, weirdly, that's just reminded me of something. My wee brain's buzzing away all by itself. I'm looking into getting a supply of the paint pucks. You can't see mine because it's gouache, but there is a green paint puck in there. I don't know if you can see it at all. I'm looking into getting those for the stash shop, and I just wondered if it's something that people would actually be interested in. Like, if you could get one, because they're very difficult to get in the UK. You can buy them on Amazon, but they're extremely expensive. So if anybody has any thoughts on that, I would love to hear it. You guys are kind of like my market research. Right, I've just caught the chat, and I can say noises and afros. I don't know what those two things have in common, but okay. Hemi brushes, that's where we got to. Car starting. Walking stick on the good arm as the dodgier knee. Okay. Not mind blowing, but my expectations were non-existent. That's about the Hemi paint brushes. Sounds about right, Danny. Okay, armpit crutches. Was I doing Bob Ross? No, I didn't even know I was doing Bob Ross noises, but okay, good to know. The noises always help. Okay, beard, right, okay. And that's how we got to the afro, Bob Ross. Okay. I think I could rock an afro. Thea's still got a green paint pot from... Aww. Ah. Okay, so yes, you'd be interested in paint pucks. I've got to be careful with that paint pucks. Yeah, okay. Well, I had two trains of thought with that. Obviously, I would sell the pucks on their own. But also, most of you know, I like to use these little glass jars. They're really pretty. They've got shells on them, and it's because they've had pickled mussels in them. So what I was thinking was I would do like a little limited custom set of the jar with a paint puck in it, but the lids that screw on, I don't have one for this one, but I would do like a custom design on the lid to, you know, just to sort of customise them a little bit and maybe sell a couple of those as well. Okay, so we're all in for the paint pucks. Alright. It's not a huge risk in terms of investment. Quite often when you go for wholesale stuff, they want you to buy things in like gigantic quantities, and because of the size of the shop, like I just can't do that. I can't justify it in case it doesn't sell. But the paint pucks, you've got to get them from the US, and the wholesale amounts are surprisingly small, which is good. So I was thinking about maybe getting a box and doing something with them. Fancy sets. Those things get pickled too. I would definitely say that pickled mussels is a specific and probably an acquired taste, but I love them. Oh, you like the pickled cockles? Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what that is, Jan. That is it's the same jars for the cockles and the mussels, but they're a good size because they're kind of dumpy. You know, you're not talking like a full size jam jar, and I just find them perfect. Mary would definitely love more paint pucks. You started off white and it's not anywhere. Well, I'm the opposite. I've got a pink one, and my pink one is a very faded pink now. They are safe to put through the dishwasher, and both of mine have been through the dishwasher a lot. So I feel like I'm due to kind of like replace mine. So I'm going to continue on my water line here. I mean, we're nearing the bottom of the picture, like it doesn't really make much difference here, but I just want that definition so that we can see where the water's edge is. That can disappear off into nothing. So just like there's the noises back and forth, but you can obviously add them, and if you want it to look like it's got a bit more movement to it, you can add in more lines. And if you don't like them, you can paint over them, and that's the joy of gouache. That was really heavy. Let's seal it. Okay, right, so there's absolutely no doubt that that's water down there, which is great. Happy with that. But that kind of now makes me, I've still got this gargantuan paintbrush here with all this squishy paint on it. Let me go back to, oh, that's kind of dried on. That's not really happening. I'm kind of forgetting how warm it is in the cave today. Obviously the heating is going full tilt because it's feckin' freezing. So maybe we need a little bit of a divide here between this water line and where the path's going to scoop round. So we'll just pop that in there. Okay, that's better already. Better already. I need to do a bit of cleaning off here. Yeah, you can put in the dishwasher. Now, Thea's just got a new kitchen, and I think the dishwasher's getting a lot of use. Would I be right? Let's just give that a wee clean off. That's disgusting. Well, I really need to change this water already. It's too early. That's something that I'm really missing, just talking about Thea's kitchen. We have another 2 builders coming. We've got one coming tomorrow, one coming on Friday. No one wants to build our extension, aka, as Jan would say, the Lego room. It just seems that nobody wants to do it. I don't know why. We're trying to find out why. But we've got another 2 builders coming. One of the things that I'm really missing is having a utility room sink, because that's where I used to wash all my paintbrushes. It's really frustrating having to use a bathroom sink or the kitchen sink. That's something that I'm sorely missing. So fingers crossed we might get someone to actually build our extension for us. Oh, the dishwasher is very busy. It's going to be even busier now when you put your paint box in it. April is sick off work. Oh no, April. Hi. His name's Sylvester Stallone because he knocked all the dirt off stuff. Oh, Thea, that's amazing. April's on the tail end of a cold. Oh no. I don't like the level of sickness that we've got. It makes me unhappy. It doesn't help that I'm a person that just doesn't really get sick. It's because I don't come into contact with anyone, like I don't do people, so I very rarely have the opportunity to contract bugs. I've got a pretty good immune system though, just working, you know, working with cows, living on a farm, a lot of bacteria kicking about. See, we have this, do I want moss here? I think I do. We have a bit of a theory, well it's not a theory, I mean it's been proven, but if we have members of staff that come to work for us that are not from a farming background and especially are not used to working with livestock, within the first 3 months of them starting they get gastroenteritis, and obviously it's just bacteria entering the gut that they're not used to seeing, and it's highly unpleasant. I had it, I was quite unwell with it. I ended up in hospital with it. That was within about 4 months of me starting as a farm labourer, and anytime someone phones in sick, that's always the first thing I say, like, oh, best gastroenteritis. It's really unpleasant. If you've never had it before, it's horrendous. But see, once you've had it, it's like you build up an immunity, and after that you're like Superman, so it's fine. My boss is poorly, so I banned him from the office, so I don't get it. Good for you, Jan. Mary's waiting for a prescription for a course of steroids. You've had a cough since the 27th that the child kindly brought back from his dad's. Yeah, exactly, Mary. The thing is, though, your carers have a huge risk of bringing stuff in, because think about all the other people that they see. But yeah, limiting social contact's the best way to not get sick, honestly. Oh, hey, Mr. Danny, keep cycling. I've been for a run this morning. I've been where you are. You showed up, pushed through, and I'll entertain you as best I can while you're cycling. Till March, or learning French until March. Ooh. Is it because of the water? No, it's all of the bodily fluids that come out of the cows that's the problem. Cows are very saliva-y, we would say slavery, you know, like they drool a lot, they burp a lot, they sometimes have snotty noses, and obviously there's the stuff that comes out the other end. It's really difficult to avoid touching cow poo when you're working with cows, like it's just one of those things. And you can scrub your hands as best you can, but I can guarantee that you will still come in contact with lots of exotic bacteria that aren't normally present in the human gut. Some are, but yeah, it's just one of those things. They're really good with using PPE. That's good. I'm really glad to hear that, Mary, actually. That's nice to hear. Right, I'm going to, now that this has kind of dried off a bit, I think you'll agree the water's looking okay. I want to sort of move up my my space moss here. My palette's getting a bit kind of funky. I need more of this Kingfisher colour. It's mostly dried out though. Let me just dab away in there because I think we might get somewhere with that. Yeah, that's still okay. We actually want kind of sticky drying out paint for this because it makes it easier to get that nice stipply effect. Right, so let's try here. Well, that's not doing anything. I think it's too dry. Build up a bit of body to it as well. You know, maybe there's a wee tufty bit poking up. There we go, that's what we're after. Make it interesting. Dabby, dabby, dabby. This part here that we worked on before, it looks okay, so I'm going to leave that alone. Put up here. Oh, see that angle there? Sorry, hand. See, between my hand and my bum cheek, I'm not doing very well today. God. It's fine. Right, so what I'm going to do now is grab this wee sea white brush again. I'm going to kind of like reconstitute this a little bit. So I've got my big brush that I'm using as like my mixing brush, and just grab a tiny little bit of clean water, dab off the excess, and then we're going to go woo! I don't want to waste any paint. Oh, there we go, that's nice. So in beside my little blue pom-pom plants that I invented, I'd also put just like, basically just vegetation. So I kind of want to do a little bit more of that. So I'll just pick that up off the brush, because these brushes are tiny and they're not the most absorbent because they're synthetic brushes, but that's kind of what we need. And I want to start kind of like working along this waterline. This looks really nice, like I want to leave that alone, but when we're coming along here to what looks like the shore, I want to kind of start defining some areas where, you know, we've got like almost like an entryway out the water. So I just want some background colour in just now. It doesn't need to be like highly defined, but just start popping that in. Into a wee bit more water. Get all this stuff out the bristles. I can hear a little bit of tapping at the feeder outside. It's quite frantic and busy, so that says to me that it's the little house sparrows, and they're hilarious. They're the ones that come in groups and like squabble amongst themselves. Right, so just put in some indicators there of where I'm going to have some vegetation, which is nice. So that's going to be like flowing past. I need to work on this path, but I haven't really decided like how I'm doing it yet. I'm not sure about this. Let's pop those over there. It's funny, April's learning French for work purposes. My Swedish learning has ceased completely. Just all the stuff with Mama Gem and one thing and another, and starting back running and doing a lot of Lego building. It's kind of fallen by the wayside. So that's something that I'm going to get back into a routine of. What I was doing was 2 lessons with Babbel a week, which are quite sort of in-depth, and then just picking up bits and pieces with Duolingo in between. So I'm going to get back on that, because I think I've forgotten a lot of stuff that I've actually learned. I'm sorry, Swedish friends, I'm sorry. Right, so you can see I've made like, it's almost like a cobbled path. And I kind of did there, what I've just done is like I just put indicators in for myself that that's what I wanted. I think I'm just going to stick with my tiny brush, honestly. And I'm going to take this really dark violet colour. Oh, I just splodged that about a bit, goodness me, I'm a bit overexcited there. Oh, it's so lovely. So I think I want to just make this a bit more cobbly. Cheese Gem. And just spread these out a little bit. This is very much a process, like you've got to build this stuff up. And even when you put those initial paintbrush lines down, you think, oh god, what have I done? This looks terrible. That's not what you're aiming for though. This is literally the building blocks. I say quite literally in this sense. But we'll space these out a bit more and bring them closer together, because we want to depict the fact that this is like a flat surface here. Because we're going to stop that there, and then we're going to put our little hobbit ladder up there. And we don't want any light showing there because the light's coming from over here. So this is actually going to be quite dark on this side, so we're going to have to work on that too. But that's okay. And I'm just smooshing that out, like I'm not, that's just what's on the brush, obviously I've not added anything. But we kind of want to blur the lines a little bit there because there isn't as much light, you're not going to have as much definition. So that's working pretty well. Woo. I have to have food sources for Hobbits' second breakfast. I always think tree sparrows look much more dapper than the scruffy house ones. I'm really enjoying the sparrows just because they're funny, and the fact that they're almost like a little group of like football hooligans, because they travel in these little packs, and when they come to the feeder it's not like 2 or 3, there's like 8 of them trying to cram in at the same time, and they're all squabbling amongst themselves. Like they are really, really noisy. It tickles me though, like I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. Excuse me. I'm thinking I might want to clean some of this off a little bit. Let's grab. This is something else that I've always got around. I've always got rags. I've always got a little bit of kitchen roll that just sits up on the shelf beside my watercolour brushes and the colour cubes, and also my little Derwent squishy thing. And see if you don't want to go and actually wash off your palette properly, I just give it a wee squish with the diffuser here, and then I just mop up, obviously because it creates a pool of water, but I just grab a couple of bits of kitchen roll and literally just like absorb it. You know, if you just see if you're like in this sort of flow, if you're in the art flow and you just want to keep going. I don't like to break my focus and my concentration by having to go up, and especially just now because I've got to go all the way through to the kitchen, which is literally the other end of the house. So sometimes I just need a bit more space. So that's what we do. We just make a little bit of space like that, and everything's fine. And then we aim for the bin, which is all the way over there. And then we've got a little clean corner to work with, and everything is fine and dandy. I'm kind of running out of water, and I need to fill it up again. Oh, see, when I stretch like that, bum cheek wasn't happy. Oh, the things we do. Groups of tits. I have a lot of tits also. I have many, many tits. We get, my favourites are the little coal tits because they're absolutely tiny, like they're so small. So we get the coal tits, the blue tits and the great tits. The great tits they're quite a bullying species. They're like the coal tits and the blue tits, they will like harmoniously eat away side by side. And also our chaffinches, we've got quite a few of those, and they're happy just to like coexist. April's like dying. I don't have any long-tailed tits. I very dare you. But the great tits will like, they want the whole feeder to themselves, and there's like 2 compartments in that one that I've got, so there's space for 2 birds to sit on the perch and eat away and not even be in the same like food space. But the great tits are like, nah, if I'm here you're not, do one. And I don't like that. I want everyone to be able to get in. But I tell you what, see the little coal tits, obviously because they are very small, they have to be quite brave. And they will swoop in and just like grab a peanut and then take it away. And they've done that before the great tits even notice they've been in. So I'm like, yeah, come on. Love to cheer for the underdog. Love the long-tailed, such cute little balls of fluff. No, I haven't seen any Ulrika, and I'm starting to get kind of up on my UK garden bird breeds. My favourite just now still the little nuthatch. He's kicking about, eating upside down and doing the bit. Is your nuthatch beating the grey tizzle? Oh God. No, the nuthatch seems to be coming at different times to the tips. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, this is just getting too much. Okay, so mixing a little bit of the kingfisher with some white, so we can get some highlights on our moss. Oh, I just can't this afternoon. You guys are ridiculous. Oh, God. Ever the consummate professional here at the cave. I can't get the colour I want. I see you put me off. I've seen that advertised as well, Ulrika. The big garden bird watch. It's great for spotting what comes in regularly. Well, I think I'm pretty well attuned to what we've got, because I sit and watch them all day when I'm working. So I even know the schedules of most of them as well, because they do keep certain schedules. The little coal tits, they're proper early birds. They get in first thing. And the thing is, I don't always replenish the feed at the same time of day, but they still come at the same time of day. Ah. Yeah, no coughing fits, please. She was being serious about the nuthatches. Yeah, I know you were, Jan, but it was just really funny. Oh my. Right, okay, so we've got a lighter incarnation of our space moss now. Good grief. Sea streams are always fun here at the cave. I need a wee bit of water in there. This is really, really dry. Right, oh, goodness me. It's such a pretty colour as well, though. I was actually thinking about, you know how you can buy these like identification posters like from the RSPB or whatever, with, you know, like breeds to look out for in your garden. I was thinking of like making my own version. So obviously we would have the variations of the fat chubby chaffinch that's got the little mohawk going on, and we would have Mr. and Mrs. Chubbs, aka Vinny. Do I get the Drunken Life prize for making you lose it? No, that doesn't count. Oh, that reminds me as well. That's something I'm going to post up on the community tab probably in the next week or so, because I did promise that I would have either a print or a colouring page available to everyone that was in the stream, as a replacement for one of the other prizes. So has anybody got any thoughts on that? Do you think a colouring page would be better, or do you think I should offer like a generic print? Because I was thinking like a wee A6 print of maybe one of my Christmas scenes, not the Christmas card that I've just done, but I feel that would be quite fitting because it was a Christmas stream. Or do you think I should offer up some line work? Because all I would do is just basically say to anyone that participated in the stream, they could email me, and I would just send it digitally. That was kind of my thinking. This is quite like already, this area. Let's put a wee bit up there just for funsies. Can you see that the difference that makes though? See, when you're talking about light sources and stuff, that just brings so much dimension having that slightly lighter colour. If you look at these areas here and then look over here, this looks really dull and just not that exciting. So we go make it exciting. But we have to be choosy where we do this, because we don't want to take away from the whole light source idea. But I think you'll agree that that looks much better, nice and glowy, and it's really given us this idea of this river flowing down here now. I'm actually very pleased with this little corner. It's going well. Colouring pages. Okay, I'm happy to provide something. I've got lots of my original artworks. Excuse me. I was going to get rid of this box, wasn't I? Oh, jeez. Sorry, guys. Right, let me move this. Just will remember. Massive box. It's huge. Oh. It's really heavy because it's full of sketchbooks. Oh, sorry, hamstring. There we go. Better. Yeah, right. So what I was trying to say was, I have lots of my original drawings where I have saved like PDFs of the outline sketch, and I would be really happy just to put some line work in there and give that as a colouring page, or if someone wanted to keep the kind of fainter line work and maybe paint over it or something, I'd be really happy to do that. The sprinkles would like a print. Patty, oh no, you're getting sick through osmosis. No, I think I just I needed a good sneeze. Honestly, I think I'm fine. It's all good. Right, I'm quite happy with what's going on here. What I would like to do now again is take my weenie brush and my wee size 1, grab some of this lighter colour. Woo! Really get some paint on that, and just kind of like get a little bit creative here. Let's pop in some little something or others. I don't even have to identify what this is, it's just detail. It could be rock formations, it could be plants, it doesn't matter. Oh, that's far too much paint. Come on now, Jem. Getting a bit overexcited there. And especially on the darker areas, like, you know, this is where it's going to stand out. This is, I'm always banging on about contrast. There you go, there's like a wee, oh, that's an exciting type of plant growing up there, isn't it? And there's a little bit of Yoda going on there. And basically just want to add interest. I'm just going to build up a little bit more over here as well, in front of my pom-pom plant. Yeah, that's quite nice. This is like an overhang, so I don't want anything growing up the way everything's growing down the way. And it's kind of, because there's quite a lot going on in that corner, it's difficult to depict. But I'm pretty sure if I just add in a little bit of this here as well, that'll help show that we're hanging down the way. We're not growing up the way. I still don't know what I'm doing that bit there, but that's fine, that's okay. Right. I feel as if I'm more or less done with that little cave section now. Like I'm quite happy with it. It's quite nice. I've got a very defined line here. I feel like I need to do more here, especially because we've got this pale area. Oh, I'm going to have to go really carefully here. I might grab some of this really dark colour. Risk it for a biscuit. Just kind of hoping to reconstitute some of this white colour. There we go. Very watery though. Let's pull that in there. Okay, that might just be what we need. I'm actually going to, because I've mixed that, I'm actually going to rinse that brush off and start again. We're working with such a tiny brush, so clean that off and then grab. Someone's been a hooligan out there. I just want to get a little bit more contrast and definition in this section, so I'll probably have to go back over with my my moss situation here. But I'm basically taking that darker purple colour and I'll just work a section at a time. So I'm putting that in there, and then what I'm going to do is wet my brush again, get some clean water, and then just blend it out a little bit. just to give us a little bit more of a shadow. So I'll work on that and I'll build it up. This paint is quite wet though. I don't want it to be too dark though, that's the thing. Because I don't want it to end up blending in with this rock here, because we've decided that that's a ledge. Okay, cool. So what I want to do now is I'm going to grab some of this lavender colour. That was the one that kind of caught my eye to begin with. I would also like to point out that I've completed my mission of getting all the Artful gouache into tubs now. I posted on the Discord after the last live stream that I found one and there was actually mould growing in it, so there was obviously moisture in it that I wasn't aware of, and yeah. I didn't realise it. I think my comment was something like, I know I'm scientific, but I didn't know I had Petri dishes in the cave. Like, I don't even know what was growing in there. So I had to throw that one out. But the rest of them are now safely in tubs, and I've made sure that there's no excess moisture in them. So that's, yeah, that's good. It's like, oh God, bleh. Right, so thinking about light source coming this way, this is going to be really dark, and I'm just taking the neat paint here. And I'm just going to start adding in some texture. Like, I kind of almost want that to disappear that way. Like the path's gone that way in behind our lovely mossy bit here. But I do need some definition and a little bit more texture in here. I should have done this before I started this part down here, but never mind. So I'm trying to kind of like steal some of that darker colour from the splodges that I've put down and just like drag it out to the spaces in between. But I'm not trying to eliminate anything. I'm just trying to make it look a little bit smoother, but still show that there's texture going on there. That's like the lightest a touch with the paintbrush. And just give it a shuggle back and forth, and maybe pick up a tiny little bit of the lavender and just dump it in there a little bit. Yeah. Okay. So once that's dried off a bit, I'll take some more of the lavender and just put some highlights on the stones towards this side, and then we can work on this greenery or bluery at the front here. On this side, this looks like the edge of the stone, I suppose, for want of a better phrase. So the best way to bring that out is to put some moss on it as well. So back to this poor little brush, and I think what we'll do here is grab a little bit of this indigo, which is still fading quite well. Don't want it to be too dark though, and then we'll just pick up what's left. I'm going to have to wipe this off. It's kind of on its last legs. Because really now what the stage that we're at is the mid-tone is the Kingfisher in its purest form, you know, in its undiluted, unmixed form. So let's start with this slightly darker colour here. You can't see it because my head's in the way. There we go, better. And I don't want to go ham here, but there's quite a few interesting lines there that were just made when we got all fancy with our watered down stuff. So I'm just going to follow that edge. Yeah, and maybe a weeny bit poking out there, but we'll not labour that point. There's also a line here which I think we'll just make that into a wee ledge, because why not? Maybe we can have our space squirrel sitting on that little ledge there. What do you think, guys? And then maybe up here a little bit, but I think that's as far as I want to take it, honestly. Let's have a little bit hanging down there. Just hanging. We'll have one little trail hanging down. Oh, so it's like a little waterfall. And that's just a nice bit of definition to pick out some features without making it really busy and like, oh, there's so much going on. It still reminds me of an alien face. Yeah, we'll work on that, Patty. We've got a long way to go with this. No problem, Connie. Thanks for stopping in. It was lovely to see you. I don't think we'll be getting to an end result today. If it's in space, there could be more than one sun, so multiple light sources. Oh, come on, Jan. Let's not do that. Suns may have different strengths and light output, so different lengths of shadows. Well, to be fair, I don't think this is a planet or a sun that's going on in here, but up here, in the alien eyes, that might be a different story. Jan is a way to make a grocery run. Getting up to 4 more inches of snow. Oh, good lord. Well, go and get your shopping, Jana. That's important. We would like you to come back in one piece so you can watch some more. Okay. Nicely done. Now, let's make things interesting here. Back to this little paintbrush, going straight for the indigo, which is now getting quite dry. I really like this colour. Really like it. We've got this little pale area here. These kind of look like, you know, the fake plants that you get to put in fish tanks. They look really light in the camera, it's just the light reflected off. They are actually, they're almost the same colour as the formation that's underneath. But yeah, let's just keep the interest up. You can barely see that, good grief. Let's move that way a bit. So you can see them, they're wet just now, but you can see them, that's fine. Okay, I'm going to take a short break, guys. I really need a bathroom break. So I shall go and do that. That'll give that time to dry. And I think what we'll do is we will... there you go, perfect timing, Ulrika. I think what we'll do after that is we'll pick some ladder colours, and by the time we've done that and maybe started with the ladders, we can go back and work on the moss in this right hand corner. I'm really happy with the way this is going so far, considering we just literally like lashed down some watered down gouache when we started last time. I think you'll agree, it was going pretty well. Okay, you're now fully and utterly allowed to talk about what you're having for dinner tonight as well, because obviously that's a thing. So please feel free to unleash your food preferences for this evening while I'm away, and I'll be back really soon. Loving all the food chat. Patty doesn't know what dinner's going to be yet. Sometimes they're the best ones, Lucy, when you just kind of like cobble everything together. But to be fair, it's quite early in the day for you, so you've got time, Patty, you've got time. Just had to grab myself some water. The remainder of my tea was stone cold, as is what happens. So back on the old flavoured water as usual. Lemon and lime today. Refreshing. Righty McCoho. So first things first then, chat, can we have some suggestions for colours for the ladder? I feel like brown's not the right thing. Jacket spuds. I'm making chilli once I finish the stream. That is tonight's dinner. It's something that's easy to make from scratch, and it's tasty and it's filling, and I think we all need a bit of heat. I'm fully expecting Mr. Jem to come in, and the phrase we use in Scotland is like a frozen snotter, so like a frozen bogey. I guess he's been outside. He's got all his thermals and everything on, bless him, and he being bald, his head is very cold all the time. So yeah, he's going to be ready for a hot bath and maybe a little bit of chilli, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure in terms of carb content. I'm not sure how much sweet potato is better than an actual potato. Ulrike's got lots of leftover roast chicken, so something with that. Yeah. Soup on the stove. Love the sound of a bubbly soup. A chilli for me later in the week from the freezer. Yeah, that's what I do, Jan. I make like a massive pot of it. Freeze it. That's really helpful for nights that Mr. Jem's really late in, which isn't very often in the winter months. It's more during the summer, but it's especially if I've been busy with work or with the cave, it's something I can just chuck on for him. The muttering about the day job is louder and angrier today. Hello, Green Hat. Nice to see you. Oh, that's funny. That's tickled me a little bit. Right, so come on then. Yes, so I've just been for my little break, Green Hat, so we've been talking about what's for dinner. Still looking for suggestions for ladder colours while y'all ponder that. I'm going to try and reconstitute some paint here. A little bit of our lighter blue colours. Let's just mix that all in together. Like, yeah. I'll grab some of the neat Kingfisher colour straight from the tub, because we're going to do that round here. Let's move that way slightly so you can see what is going on. Better. Oop. This little paintbrush is taking a beating, isn't it? Right, let's splodge that down there. It's actually quite a nice consistency all on its own. Let me just build this up a little bit. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Belly pork out the freezer in a fit of enthusiasm. See, belly pork's not, it's a thing I'm not into. Just no. Hi Martine, how you doing? Just back from the dentist, root canal. Oh no. Weight Watchers later, but you want pizza and chocolate after Weight Watchers. Back in the day I was a Weight Watcher, and treat night was always after weigh-in. Couple of crackers before weigh-in if you're hungry, and then have whatever you want afterwards. So for me, it was always, it was usually pizza and Jack Daniels. Not saying that that's the healthiest or best way you should do things, but that's what I used to do. Yeah. So yeah, good luck with your weigh-in as well. Is this your first weigh-in after Christmas, or have you already been? Come on, Kingfisher, you're not doing the doing for me here. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, better. Better, better, better. Oh god, the autofocus is still on. Sorry guys. Got you going in and out, your eyes will be crossed. Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons I don't like it. The fattiness. I'm just like, nah. Hi Gitara, how you doing? Nice to see you. Happy New Year to you too. I think I need to start working down here as well. This is maybe a little bit on the light side, but we're going to do it anyway. Because why not? Oh yeah. Woo! Oh, that was quite exciting, wasn't it? Jem likes this. So that's still quite wet, so just like brushing that off a little bit, and then I'm going to start adding that in at the waterline. So it's not anything particularly exciting, but again, we're just going for that, you know, just have some detail in there. It doesn't really matter what it is, like no one's paying attention. But we just want to add to the overall feeling of this. What's turning out to be quite an interesting little artwork here, just for funsies. Okay. Better, yeah. First after Christmas, lost £half a pound, yes. You can get away with it once the numbness goes. Mr. Danny just asked, did Jem just see a nice pair of boobs? What was she doing? Well, to be fair, I've got quite a nice pair of boobs of my own, so you know, not specifically Mr. Danny. Not too bad. The Boxing Day appointment changed pain from level 9 to level 2. So, oh, okay. Well, that's good, Martin. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear it. Jan was just watching a server restart, so she missed this. I think it was the noises I was making. just guessing, but you know. Okay, so this is starting to pop out a little bit more. So when we add our mixed colour, which is the Kingfisher with the white, that's just going to pop out the way we've got sections over here. And for me, that's enough, because we don't want, I mean, there's a lot going on here, so, you know, we've got to kind of like chill out a little bit. It was the very aggressive yeah. Yeah! I love how Mr. Danny attributed that to boobs. I think that says more about Mr. Danny than it does about me. Me? No? Awesome. Right, I love how I've had no response about the ladder situation, so I'm just pick colours. And do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and grab my colour wheel. Little colour wheel. Well, to be fair, mine's quite a big one in the grand scheme of things. So let's just jump. Miri said orange or yellow. I'm sorry if I missed that, Miri. That's probably because I was too busy away having a pee. 100% on the nose, Jem. Oh, I know. Do you know why I know this, Danny? Because Mr. Jem is a boob person. I mean, he's with me, you know. Been there, done that. Know the routine. Not saying it's a bad thing at all. Right, okay, so if we look at this colour wheel, if we were to go complementary, we're in this sort of bluey, turquoisey region. And if we go straight across, It gives us like a browny reddish type colour, you know, I'm being very general here. But if we stick in the purples, which would be probably more of like the triad colour scheme, so this triangle here, we're in the turquoises, we're in the purples, and that would give us more of an orange colour. So Miri, the old colour theory, bob on. I think orange is a good shout, which kind of is going into brown, isn't it? So let's use a very muted orangey brown colour, not Gem Jumper orange. Let's use like a burnt orange colour for the base of it, and we can build up to offensive orange for some highlights. I think it's a great idea. I was going on the whole colour wheel thingy. Well, the other thing as well, in the massive sea white box, just scoot over again. Oh, I do have back in stock is the little mini colour wheels. So these are double-sided. They're really great, but if I just show you in comparison, this is the one that I've got that I've had for a long time. This is actually a quilter's colour wheel, and the idea is that you can pop your fabric in behind and match it up and then figure it out from there. These ones are a bit more comprehensive. So there's like a mix inside to show you what you need to put together to get the colours, but also there's like the normal, you know, sort of grand scheme of things. It's just in a slightly different format. You can see mine are in little sections all around each of the holes, whereas these run in a line. So these are always in the stash shop. They've been out of stock for a wee while. I've got them back in, and they're pretty cheap. I like the size of them, and I kind of wish I had one of those, but I've had this one for such a long time, and again, it's one of these things I'm like a wee bit attached to. So, you know, but those will be back in stock in the stash shop pretty soon as well. See, ordering from Sea White's great fun. You get all the good stuff. Yeah, like a burnt orange. Yeah, Patty keeps losing her wheels. Oh, so many jokes, Patty. So many jokes. Right, so let's have a wee look for oranges then. Let's have a little dig about. I'm probably going to wipe this off once I've done the moss on this side, and then we'll work with the oranges from there. So the first thing that's like poking me in the eye is the Artful Pumpkin colour. It's pretty orange, but let's see what else I've got kicking about in here. Again, I think I'll zoom out a wee bit, and I'll move this out the way for it. Look, how nice does that little corner look now? Oh, we're getting there. All good. Just pop this out the way for a wee second and we'll get the basket out. If the rumbling noises are too much on the mic, please let me know, and I'll do it slightly to the left so it doesn't upset your eardrums. Get back on your bike, laddie. Don't laugh holding a full cup of tea. It does kind of match my jumper, like almost. It's a little bit darker. But yeah, this is, you missed that earlier on when we were talking about this jumper. This is the last outing because it's very baggy now. It's time for it to go, and I'll be sad to see it go. But it needs to go because it's not flattering in the slightest. Light apricot, that's like a really pale colour, but that might do for a highlight without having to mix anything. Honestly, I don't think I've got a lot in the way of oranges. It's not a colour that I favour when I'm painting, so it stands to reason that I wouldn't buy gouache in that colour. What colour? Oh, that's black. Let me just have a wee bit of a dig about. Van Dyke brown, no. Yellow ochre, yeah, maybe. Jock started snoring. Not sure if you can hear that or not, but yeah. Burnt sienna, maybe. We might have to swatch a wee bit of these out, I think. Yeah, I think we're going to have to do a bit of mixy. We've got saffron, orange. That's a really nice colour. I like that. Okay. Right, let's pop this out the way. So, excuse me. I'm going to do this in my sketchbook just because I've got a page. Some of you know I've got quite a lot of wrecked pages from the old the alcohol ink incident, so I'm not feeling very precious about things right now. There's a blank page. That was the page for our sketches for our squirrel situation with all my all my reference images. So let's use this page here, and I'll just take them straight out the tube just to, or tub, to give us an idea of what we've got to work with. Maybe not that brush, so let's use a slightly smaller one for this. Oh god, Jock Snowden's ridiculous. So here's the artful one. Pumpkin. Oh, nice, 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 nice. Can you hear that? I might have to go and give him a little bit of a nudge. It's the saffron orange is slightly lighter. I feel like that's a better colour though. You can hear that. Oh my god. Oh yes, he's adorable. Actually, I had a night, I had a terrible night's sleep. That was about 4 or 5 nights ago. And when I have a really restless sleep, sometimes I have like really lucid nightmares. And I was dreaming that we decided to have Jock put down and we were doing it at home, which had been a discussion that Mr. Gem and I had quite some time ago. And it was terrifying, it was horrible. And he's getting older now, you know, so these things obviously creep into your head, but oh, it was horrible. Right, so this is the burnt sienna. This is what I was thinking about as a base colour, like as the darkest colour, because it's got that nice orangey kind of like undertone to it. And if I just pull that out a little bit, you can see how orangey it is. So I thought that might be a good thing to do, like the outline of the ladders with. And then we can maybe use some of these paler colours. Again, I might as well, rather than mix and paint, I've got all these lovely colours that are just sitting here. And if we want to go later, I'll show you the light apricot. Oh, so if I can get the lid off it, jeez. That's what you call ASMR. Jock snoring, oh my goodness. Yeah, you've got, yeah, what's going on with that, Katara? I've seen in the news that Hollywood is not in a good state at all. This might be too light and it might be too peachy, but I think for highlights that might be quite nice, maybe. We've also got the yellow ochre here that I pulled out, so I'll show you that too. Hi Terry, nice to see you. I'm assuming that you don't have any snow, Terry. The UK is not doing too well on the weather right now. We're kind of not in a good spot. It's extremely cold. Not as cold as Canada, but the Canadians are probably record holders for ridiculous temperatures. But yeah, we're... Hi Elise! Oh, we're getting an influx here. So we've got the ochre as well. That nightmare is one of the that I'd questioned my brain about. Was it really necessary? No, I think just like because Mr. Gem and I have had quite a few conversations recently because Jock is getting older now. I think that's going to be. I don't think I want the yellow ochre. It doesn't really fit in with the rest of the painting. I think we should go with the oranges, and we'll maybe mix a lighter colour. I think that's probably best. No snow here. For the uninitiated, Terry lives in Hawaii. Unsurprisingly, no snow. Well, I'm glad you could join us, Elise, even if it's just for a little while. It's much appreciated. I'm glad that you're here. It's just really wet where Green Hat is. Lots of rain and a flurry of sleet. See, Sunday. We were forecast really heavy snow and it was cold, and I said to Mr. Jem, it didn't matter what the weather forecast was, I was going out for a run because I missed my previous 2 runs because of the weather. And I said to him, I said, look, this is the time I'm going out at, this is the route that I'm going. If I'm not back within 40 minutes, get on the quad bike and come and find me and scoop me up, because I'm obviously getting snowed on and struggling. But I was going anyway, but thankfully I timed it just right. And as I ran like back into the gate, into the driveway of our house, Mr. Jem pulled up on the quad bike and he was like, I went out looking for you and I couldn't find you and I was panicking. And I was like, yeah, it's just a little bit faster than you thought it was going to be. But yeah, and it ended up, it snowed all day, and it was horrible. And like, oh, just like proper snow. But now what's happened is it's really cold, but it's not snowing, so everything is rock hard and white. And we've got no snow, so there you go. Thea's Lego poinsettia is so cute. Yeah, I'd like to see a comparison. You can stick those in the Discord, Thea, that would be nice. Hello Susan, when did you sneak in? You've had flurries of snow in the middle of rain, but it's freezing. Yeah, that's what, like, we're the same. Like, I think it's about -4 just now, which is, that's quite cold for us. It's not the coldest we've ever had, but it's definitely, you know, it's down there. It's down there. Right, pop that out the way. Oh God, I'm having a slight hamstring issue, and it's making my bum cheek a bit uncomfortable, and I'm starting to get sore sitting here now. Speaking of Lego, you saw the Lunar New Year set that just, yeah, it is, isn't it? It is. I'm having to refrain, like, there's so many sets that I want to buy, but I cannot justify spending money on Lego right now. For Christmas, you know, for the charity stream and stuff, I bought quite a lot of Christmas Lego, and I also bought 2 of the modular buildings that are retired sets that are second hand, so they're really expensive. And I'm not finished paying Pip's vet bill yet, so like, no more Lego for Jem. But I've got plenty to keep me occupied, so can't complain. Right, I'm gonna finish off these little mossy bits here, and then I'm gonna wipe this clean, and I'm gonna start with the oranges, or I might just go and get another palette because I'm lazy. Just saying. So now I want a little bit more Kingfisher, which I'll probably just try and squeeze in down here, because this is all completely dried out. It is very warm in the cave, but it's because I've made it that way. And then I'll add a little bit of white to it, and we'll get the highlights on, and then we can work on our ladders. Sounds like a good plan. It's tall and bald. Need one of those height adjustable tables. You know, Papa Jem was talking to me about them the other day. See, standing up, it doesn't really help me much. See, unless my table was at like this height, I get a really sore back because I've got a really heavy bust. I have had a standing desk before, and I didn't like it. Like, I really didn't like it. I like just to be able to move about when I feel like it. And the best way, apparently, for me to do that is just to have a normal desk and get up and walk about. Daria's cold and windy, concerned for her sister, is in the middle of fires in California. So whereabouts, I mean, California is a big state. Whereabouts are the fires, Daria? Can you tell me? Would you mind disclosing that information? But yeah, I saw it was like celebrities fleeing their houses, so I'm assuming it was Hollywood. Or the Hollywood Hills, or maybe Beverly Hills. My California geography isn't great, to be fair. Southern California. Jan's not happy because she actually had to work. Oh no. Imagine Jan. I had a bit of a moment like that yesterday. Technically, I'm supposed to finish at 2 o'clock for my proper job. But if I've had interruptions during the day, quite often I work on, because I go by, like, it's an hours quota, it's not set hours I have to work. So if I've had other things to do during the day, you know, sometimes it's maybe like 3, half 3. And one of the team members who, he's not my boss, but I work with him fairly closely now, and I'm getting on really well with him. He decided to call me at like 4 o'clock. and I kind of started twitching a wee bit. I was like, oh, I should have turned my phone off. I get a bit funny about that sometimes. I did try to call him back, which he ignored, so that was nice. But I'll catch up with him tomorrow when I'm back to work properly. But I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, you know, and it's like, if I accidentally leave my work phone on a Wednesday, because I don't work a Wednesday, and someone tries to contact me, I get like mildly annoyed about it. I'm like, I don't work a Wednesday. They may not be aware of that, but it's my fault for not turning my phone off. I get really annoyed about it. I'm just like, go away. You have enough of my time throughout the week as it is. You're not getting any more. They started on the coast of West Los Angeles, but now the winds, 80-mile-per-hour winds, ooh, that's windy, jeez. That is freaking windy. Have blown the embers further inland. Oh. We get these wind conditions where the wind is like a blast furnace and the humidity drops to single digits. That's when things, yeah. Your rains haven't kicked in, so everything is dry from summer. So basically you're a tinderbox, Katara. That's not cool at all. That is not cool at all. Literally. Well, I hope everyone's safe, Daria and Katara. I hope everything's okay, because that is terrifying. Because one thing I don't know much about fires, but what I do know is that you don't mess around with Mother Nature, and if she wants to do something, she's doing it whether you like it or not, and the best thing to do is just get out the way. There we go, so we're getting this little pop now. I keep forgetting to put this back on manual focus so that you don't get seasick. That's nice. I've got a nice sticky consistency here as well, which is perfect for what I'm trying to do. Yeah. Well, thanks, Elise. I don't know why I look particularly great today, but I'll take it. I'm not really one for sort of fretting over my appearance, as it were. But one thing I do need to do is book myself a haircut. I'm back to like just having everything scraped back, and I've got too much wisdom tinsel showing. I think I'm going to get some colour put in again though. Some of you might remember I had mermaid hair for a little while, and then I had some blue hair. So I think I'm going to do something like that, but I'm going to get my sort of feathery bits cut in at the front again and get a little bit taken off the length. It was too short last time. Like I tried to like it and I just couldn't. But I will be getting a bit chopped off it, I think. Right, I think I'm quite happy with this. I kind of want to bring this up more of like a smiley shape though. Like to make it look like a little outcrop. Oh, we've woken up to have a scratch. Are you alright? Yep, waggy tail. Okay, good. I still call him my baby boy. Even though he's geriatric, he's my baby boy. We had a really good cuddle on the bed last night. We do not allow our dogs in our bedroom, and we definitely do not allow them on the bed. But as Jock is, coming into his twilight years, I kind of give him special dispensation. And I was really, really tired last night. Like I got to like 9 o'clock and I couldn't keep my eyes open. And I thought, I'll just go through to bed and I'll just lie down and I'll just doze until Mr. Jem comes to bed. And Jock plodded through and he sat at the edge of the bed, and our bed's quite high, and because he's quite arthritic now, he couldn't jump up even if he wanted to, but he kept putting his paw up on the edge of the bed and crying at me. So I just like scooped him up onto the bed and I like spooned him. And we had a really nice time, and it just reminded me to like enjoy those moments with him now, because they're not going to be there forever. And it was really, really nice. And apparently we fell asleep together and he was snoring, and Mr. Jem came through and scooped him up and put him to bed later on. Zero regrets. Zero regrets. You can really tell you've lost weight. Thanks, Elise. Well, we're just going to keep on trucking. I was saying earlier on in the stream, like the last couple of days, like I don't know what it is. I think it's because it's cold and I'm in like bear hibernation mode, but I can't stop eating. Like I don't know what's wrong with me. But yes, we will continue onward because the reality is that I need to lose what I've just lost. I need to lose the same again to be like a healthy weight. So it's going to be a long journey. But thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah. Katara loved the mermaid hair. He'll always be a baby boy. Yeah, he will. I mean, like he's nearly 13 now, but he's still my baby boy. Right, I think I'm done with the old mossy situation, so I'm gonna get this cleaned off. In fact, do you know what? I'm not. I'm gonna go and get another palette, and we'll do some oranges just to finish off. Because why not? Match me jumper. Let's see what we've got. I think we'll grab this one. I like this palette because it's got a lot of different size ducats. You know, you've got a big one and then you've got slightly smaller and then you've got these ones too. I don't use this one very often. It's kind of dusty. Just get my brush off. Yeah, I mean, that's us. We've had Jock for nearly 12 years now. And it doesn't feel like that. Like, it really doesn't feel like that. But he's changed so much over the years. Like, he really, really has. And in a good way. And I've got a thing, like, I love older dogs as well. Obviously, we had Wu till she was 17. And I do have a thing for older dogs. And I'm just trying to, like, enjoy what I've got with him because he's special. He is special. Oh, now we're having another strip. Jock! You don't need to do that. So currently he's got all his feet together, like stuck out the side of the bed. So he's got all 4 feet are like all like crossed over. Oh no, we're getting up. Oh, you're stiff, are you? Because it's cold as well. Do you want to come and see me? Come on then, it's okay. Oh, he's trying so hard, he's so stiff. Oh, just take your time. There you go. Oh, you're a good boy. Oh, you're such a good boy. We're still half asleep as well, clearly. Oh. Jock also has a thing for cardboard boxes, and since I've put the sea white box on the floor, he's now got his nose in it and he's kind of like trying to grab the box. Is that your box? You can't have what's inside it though. Oh, good boy. Mr. Danny just surprised me with his ceramic paint palette. I've been fussing with the plastic ones. Oh, I hate plastic ones. You feel so bougie now. Ah, Mr. Danny's a keeper, isn't he? Yeah. I'm all about the ceramic palettes. I'm telling you, it's the way forward. Jock, that's mine. You can't have it. He's trying to bite the box. Mine. He's still wagging his tail though. It's like, I know this is a game. Right, so yeah, based on our previous... Stop doing that. Based on our previous conversation. Oh God. We're going to start with the burnt sienna. So this is the Winsor & Newton Designers Gouache, and this is from series 1. So this is the cheapest ones. I like the cheap stuff. So let's just like squidge a little tiny bit of that out. We're not going to need a lot of this. Ooh, they've got lids. Oh, that is fancy, Ulrika. Oh my. So this paint is quite firm. I kind of want to keep it that way. And I want a flat brush for this because we need to get some really sharp lines. So I'm gonna grab the other Hemi. In fact, I've got a Hemi brush out here, haven't I? Yeah. Okay, we've given up. We're lying down again. Yep. So flat brush, and we'll just pick up a little bit of this. So I'm thinking we'll have one facing this way, like this. I have to zoom in a little bit, aren't I? There. Need a little bit of moisture here. I've got lots of stray bristles. Can you see if I hold it against the dark part? Like lots of stray bristles. Not what we need right now. We need precision. but we'll get that down first. Okay, good start. That could almost be just like an actual staircase, couldn't it? Our palette lids the art equivalent of a dress having pockets. I don't know. Cat hairs. Well, yeah, I can totally relate to that. It's just dog hairs. I think it's even sadder that I can tell the difference as to whether it's a Pippi hair or a Jock hair. Jock's hair is very coarse and crinkly because he's got a slightly rougher coat, whereas if it's Pip's hair, they're straight and they're a lot finer as well. Thea's art supplies parcel should arrive tomorrow. Ooh! Pray tell, what is in your art supplies parcel? Everyone's like, what are you getting, Thea? Like, we must know. Right, so for this ladder here, I want it straight up and down, but this is going to have to be really thin. And maybe want that poking up a little bit above. So it looks as if someone's rested a ladder, like it's not a built-in ladder. So as long as I keep my hand steady here, that should be fairly even. Nah, it's not too bad. Okay, take it. Not really sure how much detail we're going to be able to add here. This will dry darker than the way it's popping up just now, so we might have to do something with it, but you know. Fell into the inkwell and needed some polychromos replacements. And I think they're like liquid watercolor. Ooh, fancy, 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 fancy. I'll get our fancy pants on here. Should I just make these into stairs? Should I do it? You tell me, guys. I'm very happy with this ladder. Oh, I'm very happy with that ladder. Yep. This is obviously like, I'm not, I feel like I have to make some of this darker, but I tell you what I do want to do. Just going to abandon that there. I'm just going to grab this lavender colour straight out the tub because that's where it's most fun. And I'm going to make this into a ducat. So I'm just going to pop some lavender. And I'm not sure if I'm just defining an edge here or whether this is going to be another sort of vegetation. But I feel like we need to make this like a wee hidey hole of some description. Because it's very different from the rest of the surrounding area. Like, and this is the part that I really enjoy about doing stuff like this. See, it's a bit like kind of making up a story as you go along, which is something I used to do long before I started arting. But this is kind of like half the fun, and it teaches you to adapt, because again, I am very much like, I'm very regimented, I'm a creature of habit, I like routines, and to be forced into this position where you have to sort of not bend the rules, but you know, you have to kind of go with the flow in order to make things work. This is like my favourite part of arting, because in my day-to-day life I would absolutely not do these things. It's like, is that like a little hidey hole all on its own? Maybe there's some crystals or something growing in there, or is that where our space squirrel lives, in that little ducat there? Our space hobbit squirrel. Like, oh, that's giving us such a, like, kind of giving me like geode feel, maybe. And maybe just add a weeny bit of water, a weeny bit. Just like work that out a little bit. Yeah, coming along nicely. We need a jock cam. Well, we need cameras for a lot of things apparently, because we need a jock cam, obviously, with a microphone so you can hear him snoring in like proper surround sound. We also need a birdie feed cam, which is no use at this time of night because it's dark now and it's obviously very cold and they don't want to. You need to pull out a Pippi hair for details on that ladder. Hello, Carabinus, how are you? You have one due in next Tuesday, but I may have it delayed until I'm at home on Wednesday. An art supplies parcel, that is not okay. Yeah. Ah. Thea's local art shop stocks the Holbein pencils. Well, that's fancy. It's something I've never had and I've never tried, is the Holbeins. Mary bought hers direct from Amazon Japan, so they're a lot cheaper but still expensive. Patty's still waiting for her cave meal. Oh goodness, Patty. Oh God. How is the mail situation in Canada now? Is it starting to pick up pace again, or are you still incredibly backlogged? The Christmas card will have to be next year. Oh God, I'm so sorry. Still backlogged. Cass Arts keeps sending me emails with all the lovely things I might want. That serves you right. Okay, my ladder's not looking as bad as I thought. Not that I thought it would look bad, but you know what I mean. Right, okay. I need a smaller, I've got a smaller, this is one of my favourite paintbrushes, and this was a limited edition, so you can't get them now, and it's a Colibri Blackline Synthetic. This is a smashing little brush. And I think I want to grab, I might go pumpkin, might match the jumper. And just run a little brush through that. I'm just maybe a little bit more water than that. Yeah, I noticed that Justin Trudeau has abdicated. That's not the word for a prime minister. He stepped out. Yes, he has stepped down. I thought, please correct me if I'm wrong, Canadians. I thought that Justin Trudeau was quite well liked. Is that wrong? Resigned, yeah. Abdicated. That's really bright, my goodness. This little paintbrush is the beans. I love it. Oh, so good. Right, okay, so let's just... I'm trying to get like a wood effect, but I think we might just be a little bit too far gone. That looks okay though. Okay. Maybe pop a little bit of the lighter colour at the top there. I don't know what's going on down here. This is clearly a rough ladder, but alright. Oh come on, that's cute, isn't it? We're getting a bit of Donkey Kong going on here. That's better. Okay, yep, I'll tack it. He started out the way and showed his true colours in his parties, losing popularity because of him. Yeah, right. He showed his true colours. Well, let's let the Canadians speak on that one. You just don't want Trump 2.0. Well, I try not to have much in the way of political commentary on this channel, but okay. You like that colour? Yeah, I like it. It makes me not want to do anything else to that ladder either. Like I think I'm good. That's kind of the way I like it. I'm going to stick with this little Colibri brush just because I kind of like it. We've got this vegetation here, so I'm going back into the Kingfisher colour, which is quite firm. You can see obviously the squish patterns there, but I'm just pushing it up against the side. And I think we'll just add in a little bit. I don't want anything too crazy because I don't want this colour to like take over the entire image. But yeah, like there's a little tufty bit going on. Yeah, the other thing, like the whole politics thing as well. It's not just one place. Like politics all over the world has just gone bananas. I see that Elon Musk has been wading in and sticking his oar in where it's not wanted, and he's been doing it in the UK as well. And the consensus of Mr. Musk in the UK is that he's just an absolute clown. Like no one's interested, no one cares. And I see that Mr. Trump has kind of soured to him in recent days as well. But I just feel like the whole world's gone mad in terms of politics. And, you know, like you see all the stuff that's been going on in Korea and all these places too, and you're just like, what is going on? And you know a few states that want to become provinces. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Danny. That's nice. Little tufty bits, yeah. The bloke seriously tapped in the head. Which one? Anyway, I will keep my opinions to myself on that. All I will say is that I am not a Mr. Musk fan. That's all I shall say. Yeah, right, okay, I think that's probably an appropriate place to stop when we get into politics. We don't want to go there, really don't. The little butterfly clip's so cute, isn't it? Oh yeah, let's not get started in Greenland, jeez. So like we've got a really nice contrast here. See if we look at the top half of this image and then we look at the bottom half, we can see that the devil is in the detail, or the angel is in the detail if you prefer. And this is like my message to people, to be free and enjoy just splodging things down on the paper. If you have patience and time and a little bit of imagination, then you can make things look kind of freaking cool. Like you know, let's be serious. And we've moved this on. I know the progress is slow, but this is part of it. Like, I'm trying really hard not to cram everything into half an hour. Like, oh, I have to finish an artwork in the space of an hour or whatever. I just want to enjoy the process. And I think we've made lovely progress. So I think what I'll do is I'll probably work on this section here on my own if I get a little bit of spare time. I do have to do my taxes at the weekend, so that might cause a problem. But maybe the next live stream, then we might work on the top part. There will be no work in progress Wednesday next Wednesday. I have to work my proper job next Wednesday. I am not pleased about this. But it's the way that it has to be. There will be videos in place of that next week instead. I have already filmed one video and I'm planning another one as well. So there will be a little bit of action with that. I've also got something quite exciting happening in the stash shop in the next 2 weeks as well, which I will keep you up to date with on the socials and obviously on the community tab of the channel as well. So, Elise says never talk about politics or religion. In the UK it's politics, religion and football. Soccer. You just don't do that. Martin would like to explore the wee Ducat. Good, I'm glad to hear it. I think it does look a bit like a crystal cave, Martin. That might be the direction we're heading in, and I'm okay with that. Absolutely fine. Welcome to the world of Wednesday working. Yeah, I can't actually remember the last time I worked a Wednesday, like from a proper job. If it turns out nice, Thea, I might make it into a print. We'll see. If I'm not pleased with it, then I probably won't. The other thing I was saying to Mr. Jem as well was I can't remember the last time I worked more than 2 days in a row at my proper job, because I just don't do that anymore. I'm like 3 days in my proper job in a row, like no, we're not having any of that. Turns out nice. Okay, turns out nice means like if I like it. We'll see. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for joining me today. I've had what does the UK call American football? We call it American football. Minnie's like American football. Right, that's what it's called. Right, okay, guys. Yes, so thank you so much. Keep your eyes peeled. As I say, that there will be activity on the channel in the next 7 days in the form of videos and stuff, and other stuff as well. And if you're in the market for some of the really good sea white watercolour paper, as opposed to a sketchbook. That will be up in the next wee while as well, but I'll put that on the socials so that you know that it's there. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. I'm going to go and make my chilli now, and maybe brave outside if the dogs decide they want to out. I don't think Jock's going anywhere. He's falling asleep again. He's not snoring. And we will see you back in the cave really soon for some more fun and playing with our stuff. Udder hands for everyone. Let's go. Oh, you're already there. Okay. All the pink udder hands. You're very welcome, Thea. A lovely way to spend an afternoon, isn't it? Just breaks up the week nicely. Yay! Yay! All the other hands. Bye, everyone.